Morning traders, this is Dean, and I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a overview on what we are looking at as it relates to the pound dollar. Now, as you can see, we're on a weekly time frame over here, and what we have is this very unusual market pattern. We can see that the market has been making very solid higher highs and higher lows, making this very good looking trend over here. But we also have to acknowledge that based on the overall direction of this market, this supposedly trend over here is by all is but just a retracement in relation to the overall spectrum of the market itself. So with that in mind, we also need to treat this as such. We cannot view this as a trend if in the overall spectrum of things it is but just a retracement. With that being said, we can also see that with the market forming the double tops here on a weekly chart over in January, and then again come to test that same level in April, we have the market then just forming this double tops and then just started moving further down. Now, as you can see that based on the weekly, we haven't really seen any retracement until the market gave us this weekly hammer that formed on a fairly reasonable key level over here. And if we go over down to the daily chart, what we're going to be looking at is, if we look very carefully, we can actually see that the EMAs, they're very close to crossing over. However, they have not yet crossed over, therefore we cannot confirm it as of yet. What we can do, however, is identify the fact that the market has given us somewhat of a new extension. So what we had was this run down over here, then a little bit of a correction and a further run down, and then a 2-week correction where the market just moved to the side for the whole time until it broke out to the bottom. What I want us to take note of is that if you are anticipating this market to kind of just break up to the upside, you have to consider several factors. And one of those several factors is the fact that this market has consolidated in this region for 2 weeks, which tells us that for 2 weeks, buyers were not able to even break bullish. And now buyers is at their lowest point. So you have to ask yourself, do they have the capacity and the momentum to actually break beyond this point over here? So that's the first thing that we have to think about. The second thing that we have to consider is this is in and of itself an extension. We can see that there's the high, and that high led us to this low over here. So what I will be doing is I will be using my fib to identify where about are we looking for a possible market retracement. Now I can see over here, if I select the 50 fib, that the market is currently on the 50, just above the 50 fib, but at the same time, I will personally be favoring the 61.8 fib, and I'm going to explain to you in a second why. The reason I'm personally favoring the 61.8 fib is because if you notice, here is the resistance point of the consolidating market, and this is just below the support point of the consolidating market. In other words, this falls more in line with a market that is looking to retest this as a resistance to continue them further downward momentum. And the reason that we're looking at a downward momentum chart is that if we go back to the monthly time frame, we can actually see that we're in a bearish market. Now, I cannot ignore the value of the 50 fib in and of itself. So what we will be doing now is we will go into a smaller time frame to get an idea of what does that 50 fib look like. What do we have to see the market form on this level in order for us to be convinced that the market is going to use this level as a resistance and move further down. So essentially, what I'm going to be looking for is for a nice shooting star to form on the 4-hour chart. Before I make a decision, I would like a nice shooting star to form on the 4-hour chart that will be in line with the 50 fib. And with that being in line with the 50 fib, give me a very good confirmation that this market has found its resistance point and is now looking to build momentum further to the downside. Also, what I would like to see is a little bit more exhaustion. So I would like to see a lot more wicks on this level over here, and that is only if the market is looking to use 50. Like I said, personally, I'm favoring 61.8. That's going to give me around 3460, and this is around 3400. I'm not going to make a big deal out of either or, because if the market gives me a very good signal here, then I will take it. If the market gives me a very good signal here, I'll take it as well. So if the market does look to break the 50, then I will be targeting the 61.8. But if the market closes below the 50, then I will view that as a confirmation that this is seen as resistance, and we're looking for the market to then further roll over, where profits will be taken on this low, and this low. If we jump over to the 1 hour time frame, what we will see is something very significant. We can see that the market has kind of stalled at this point over here, giving us a very, very solid shooting star, yet the market is still building momentum to the upside. But as you can see, the market is actually struggling to break above this high. Now, this gives me one of two pieces of confluence. I can see this as possible levels of confluence, because if I can have this market just close just below that high over there, then that is going to be seen as, number one, a lower low, and we will see that as a tweezer tops. If we can see the market just close below, you're forming a another shooting star, then we have confirmed tweezer tops, and that is a very strong signal that this market is going to start rolling over. So there's a lot of potential in this trade in terms of those of you that want to maybe do a swing trade where you can take profit all the way down to this point over here, or even down to this point over here as it lines up with that low. For those of you that would like to take a swing trade, that's your levels. For those of you that wanted to take a little bit more of a day trade, your low that you're looking to take out is this one over here. So from this point up until the time of your entry, that's about 63 pips, 60 pips, around that amount. But if you're looking to take more, you're going to have to, number one, hold the position for longer, and you also have to remember that with holding a position longer, you have to practice patience. So that is going to be my overall, my overview of the pound dollar for this morning. I will wait and see how does the market respond to this analysis, and I will keep you guys updated. Furthermore, if you have any questions, let us know via Telegram, and we can take it from there. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.